Okay, guys, sorry about that. I was trying to do it from the fishing room. It didn't work out. I don't understand why not, because I was in there earlier, a couple hours earlier, testing it, and I could see videos there fine, watching some videos on YouTube, and I was even checking emails, and it worked fine. But I guess it takes more for the do the Wi-Fi. April. 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 All right, so you guys got me now. How's the fishing been in Catalina? It has been very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah, sorry, Aaron. I was trying to show you guys the fishing room. I don't know how I'm going to have to do it. I guess I have to do it with my phone. Where are the bonita? They're all over the island. I was out there Saturday. We had really bad weather. It took me 3 hours to get across the channel to get to the island. And normally I make it about an hour and 10 minutes. And it took me 3 hours to get there on Saturday. And we found them all over the place. We found them. We just stayed on the front side because it was too rough to get to the back, and we barely made it to the front. So there are plenty of yellowtail over there. That mixed grade of the little fish and some of the bigger fish there too. So let's take a quick look how the landings did. Newport had 33 yellows today. They had 14 bluefin too. Pierpoint knocked in really good again. 69 yellowtail. 22nd Street, 16 yellowtail. Redondo, no yellowtail. Marina Del Rey, 1 white sea bass, no yellowtail. Channel Islands had 1 yellowtail. Sea Landing looks like they got limits of rockfish up there and whitefish. And they had 14 lingcod. That's pretty good. Let's see what else is going on here. Enterprise, limits of bonita. The Enterprise today had limits of bonita with yellowtail up to 35 pounds. That's good. Redondo Special was fishing sculpin, red snapper, and whitefish. Okay, Aaron, that's a good idea. I could do that. I could shoot a little video for you guys with my GoPro through the fishing room. Let you guys see what's there. So, Jeff, you were out fishing. So you were behind San Clemente Island. Best bluefin trip of the year. Wow. April's sticking her head in here. Wouldn't be an episode without April in here. The yellows are biting on everything, live bait, jigs. We've caught a couple on the Magic Metal Light jigs. The smaller ones, the 5.5s. This is a 7.5, a 5.5. We got some. And live sardines. We did, when we had that trip on the Gale Force the other day, the same guy that was on the trying trip with us was trying to catch sheephead. He had shrimp, and he got bit on the shrimp, a whole shrimp. He was fishing for sheephead, and a yellowtail ate it. G7 wants to find some good spots out of Newport Harbor. They sell those books, guidebooks. that have all the reefs on them and stuff. That's what I would look at the man-made reefs. I would look at the regular reefs are out there. I would look at the pipeline stuff like that out of Newport. But a lot of those Newport boats come all the way up to the Horseshoe, just because there's so many more rocks and stuff off Long Beach than there is in Newport. Wow, Jeff said he saw lots of big bluefin today. On the local bite, as far as I see from the sport boats, nobody's really concentrated on surface fish. They've all stayed in that rockfish mode. A lot of sculpin and whitefish and rockfish and stuff. But I would think if you fish the normal spots of horseshoe, isers, that you could catch calicos and sand bass. Southern Cal eats. What's the best way to catch a halibut? You need to drift. You need to drift sandy areas, and you need to drift close to structure. You don't want to be on the structure because you get snagged on it. But lots of times a halibut will lay right next to the rocks, and you'll catch them there. So you want to do that. But yeah, drift different areas. Lewis, how busy was it Saturday? It wasn't as busy as normal because the weather was so bad. If the weather had been really good, it would have been really busy. Hey, Matthew, welcome back. I guess you're back in school. So Armin's going out of Mission Bay. Anywhere I recommend to fish. I really don't know that coastline anywhere. I would say probably La Jolla. I know they're catching yellowtail that way, but I don't really fish down there. So Jeff said they caught two fish over 200, a 288. Wow. Plus a 150, a 167, and released several 100-pounders. What do you guys do with all that fish? I mean, who cleans them? Do you guys clean them on the boat, or do you have a processor waiting for you guys? No. So Vegas Fat Cat said he saw me on Storage Wars. That was me. Oh, Matthew says that they got yellows on the Stardust. That's cool. I will be up there next month. We're going to be fishing. We're going to be fishing on the Coral Sea. I think we got one spot left on there if any of you want to join us. So you guys can join me there. That's always a fun trip. Overnight trip. They don't do a lot of overnight trips up there. So we're looking forward to being on the other one. Hey Oz, how you doing? Oz, did you see the video I posted of all you guys? That was fun we had so many people from here, from this chat, on the trip the other day on the Gale Force. Almost half the boat was all people from this chat. So it was nice. Spend some time with you guys on the rail and hear your ideas of what you'd like this to turn into more. Lewis, hey Dan, going to Horseshoe Iser Saturday. Thinking of trolling. What do you think? You can troll. There's lots of bonita around. When I was out there Saturday running to Catalina in the rough water, I could see schools of bonita and birds diving on them. So if you see birds diving, you could troll through them, or you could just drive up to them and drop throw a metal jig or something. But yeah, you could troll, or you could go ahead and just when you see the birds breaking, throw a metal jig, small metal jig like a magic metal, or something shiny, smaller like a 1.5 ounce to 3 ounces. The middle of that stuff, and just let it swim out there. Wind it back to you pretty fast, and you can troll. It's easy to troll for bonita. It's pretty good. So Jeff is on his way back to Florida right now. It's funny how you're always on a layover when you're watching, talking to me here. Just on his way to Florida. Is a plane packed? Was your first flight from Orange County or LA to Salt Lake packed? Yeah. So Chongo's asking about yellowtail at Channel Islands, and Matthew's on here right now. He's from Santa Barbara, and he said that their boats out of Sea Landing caught yellowtail over at the island. So I would think there's yellowtail around there. Vincent, why do some deckhands tell you not to use bucktails? I have no idea. Probably because it's easier to catch fish with live bait. But if you're going to fish for rockfish and fish for sculpin, nothing works better than a bucktail. I like to use bucktails for calicos. I catch yellows on them, so I don't know. Dan, Dan Demand, what can I expect mid October? Full day offshore San Diego. If you're going overnight, probably tuna. I mean, we caught tuna this year, last year, 2 days before Christmas. And if we would have won Christmas, there would have been tuna too. There was lots of tuna. It's kind of sad in San Diego that, and even up in LA, we don't run out of fish. We run out of fishermen. So people just don't want to go fishing. You know, they're worried about buying Christmas gifts, and their wives want them to save money for Thanksgiving and all that. So the guys don't fish that much, but there's fish year round. Hello, Renee. Albert. Okay, those guys are having a conversation. Hey, Lewis, thank you for your super chat money there. Thank you very much. So Todd wants to know how multi-day fishing will be during October. I would think it'd be good. 1.5, 3 day trip. You'll be offshore the whole time, drifting around for tuna. I would think. All the islands are basically shut down south, so no San Martin, anything like that. The only thing I would check, Todd, is find out if they plan to go to Colonet, because if you go to Colonet, you have to have passports. But if you stay offshore tuna fishing, you don't need passports. Yeah, Jeff, that's a lot of fish. You get just two fish over 200 pounds, and then you start adding all the little fish. That's a lot of fish to clean. Yeah, Lewis, thanks for that little donation thing. I really appreciate it. Alex, hey Dan, when you have to make bait for tuna, what size hook? It doesn't really matter for the mackerel. You don't need a really tiny hook, but just a normal sabiki rigs with probably like four, maybe five those sabikis in it. You don't want the little tiny ones that have like 8 or 10 hooks in there. You want a little bit larger one for making the mackerel. You don't want the little. I mean, you want decent sized mackerel. And if you get some big mackerel, still keep them because if you're offshore, you might run into a marlin, and then you could drop the marlin on them. Hey, we got another super chat. Thank you guys. So Jeff says the flight was half full. That's good. Matthew, the best way to catch sheephead is to rip off a piece of shrimp, mash it up on your hook. Oh, okay. So, and that's what I noticed, Matthew. I see guys using whole shrimps. I think that's too much shrimp. They just need little shrimp, like you said. But I don't know if you heard it earlier on the Triton and the Gale Force trip we had earlier this month and last month. One of the guys that was fishing for sheephead with shrimp, whole shrimp, actually caught yellowtail, or he didn't land them. He hooked two yellowtail, one on each trip, and he didn't land them, but he did hook them. Lewis, hey Dan Lewis here. Are you still doing the open party? Right now, I'm not doing any open party trips, but I am doing private charters. So this weekend, I don't have any private charters because I'll be up in Northern Cal. We're filming on the New Huck Fin and the Seawolf. But next weekend, I have a private charter on Saturday. And then Sunday, I have a trip on the Sea Star. And I think we have one spot left open on the Sea Star. And then I think we have one or two spots left open for October on the Coral Sea if you guys want to join me on that. And I think the Legend has one spot open. There might be three more spots opening up. There's one person that has three spots, and I need to find out for them if they're going to take the trips or not take the trips. So we got to find out. But if you guys want to join us on any of our trips, here's the trips we have left for the year. Haven't had any luck getting other trips lined up. All the boats are just kind of running scared with COVID and everything. Hey, there's another one. Thank you guys. Thanks for your super chat. Helps out. Yeah, we got 90 people in here and we only have 40 likes. Chase. Hey Dan, was wondering where you guys are catching yellowtails at Catalina. Caught one yellowtail at Shiprock. Where else? Near Two Harbors. Um, I would suggest everywhere from Shiprock, um, Eagle Reef. We've hooked them there. We've hooked them Arrow Point around there. Just before Arrow Point, we had a yellowtail on Saturday. Um, we're by Indian Rock, and just before the Boy Scout camp, on the points out there, we hooked a couple yellows. Around the point there, going toward Johnson Rock, we hooked yellows. Hooking them hasn't been the problem. Landing them, the guys I had Saturday didn't have a lot of fishing experience, and they weren't feeling good from the rough water, so that was kind of a problem. Lewis, the water can get kind of rough later in the year, but it was pretty rough last Saturday. Renee, let's talk lobsters. Yeah, lobster season starts next week. I think it's October 3rd. I think it's 6 in the morning, October 3rd. Vince did some Long Beach Harbor fishing by the Queen Mary. Okay, that's cool. Stefan, why the shutdown? Which shutdown are you talking about, Stefan? So Daz is going out on the Stardust on Saturday. Maybe you'll see Matthew there. I don't know. Matthew's working on the boats right now. What's that? Geezer13. Hey, Dan, big fan. Been watching since I was a kid. So that means you're over 30 years old now. I've only been on a 3-dayer, but my buddy might need me to fill in for a 6-dayer this Saturday. 6-day trip, I'd be prepared for tuna. Lots of tuna, big tuna, probably some yellowtail. Find out from your friend if the boat has a permit to go to Guadalupe, because a 6-day trip you'd normally go to Guadalupe. 5-day, 6-day would be Guadalupe, but I'd be prepared for tuna fishing. And if they plan to fish the shoreline for bass and rockfish and stuff, you need to find out, because you'll need a passport to do that. Tyler, preparing for lobster fishing this year. We'll be going to Belmont this weekend, get some crabs. Okay. Yeah, Deep Blue, I have no idea why the pier is closed. Derek says it's open. I don't know. Alex, okay, I'm glad the sabiki rig helped you. Yeah, you don't want to really fish the little tiny sabiki rigs unless you're fishing for smelt. If you're on a pier and you want to catch smelt for bait, then yeah, use the tiniest ones you can get. If you're fishing for mackerel, I would say like a 4 or 5 hook sabiki rig with larger hooks would be good. Hey Oz, thank you for your little donation there. I appreciate it. Yeah, Jeff, that's a great problem to have, fish that big. I just don't know what you guys do with all that tuna. That's a ton of tuna to have. You got 4 fish that big. Hey, April. Come say hello. Come say hello to your friends. She slowly creeps in. The Sea Star is based out of Marty. Sea Star is based out of Oceanside. It's the old Helgren sport fishing landing. It's called something else now, something center. What is it called now? Now you're going to make me look. It is. What is the name of that place? It's called something center. The Sea Star is a nice little boat. Oceanside Sea Center is what it's called. And they're tied in with some other organizations there. It's got 1 trip in stock, so we got room for 1 more person to join us. The other thing about this trip you guys will like, normally we take 20 people on this trip. This year, because of COVID, we can only take 10. So we have 1 spot left, and the 10 means the film crew too. So there's going to be 8 people fishing, because that means me and the cameraman are 2 of the 10 spots. Lewis, what kind of boat does Jeff has? Has a very big boat, over 50 feet. Tyler, when is the next Kids Club meeting? That's a good question. I haven't got an answer from Lake about it. Yeah, Jeff's boat's 50 feet, 55-foot Hatteras. Has a 55-foot Hatteras. That is a big fish. Hey, Al. Yeah, that's a really big boat. And the boat goes really fast. Yeah, Marty, to answer your question, Oceanside um, Sea Center. Is that what it's called? I just had it up. Yeah, Oceanside Sea Center. That's what it's called. Thanks again, Oz. I appreciate your support. Appreciate you guys joining me on the trips. Yes, you did warn me it was going to be rough that day, Jeff. I didn't think it was going to be that rough at Catalina. I knew it was rough where you were because you were way outside, but I didn't think it was going to be that rough at the island. Hopefully tomorrow will be good. I have a trip tomorrow going to Catalina, so hopefully we'll do good. And if the weather's good, I plan to go around the back of the island a ways. So we'll see. Okay, what other questions are here? Adams going on the Blue Horizon. That's out of the same landing, I'm pretty sure, right? Was that a half day boat, 3/4 day boat? I would be prepared for everything from bonita, yellowtail, fishing the kelp beds, maybe some rock fishing. So Tanya caught 30 tuna at San Clemente. I hope there was people with you because your limit's probably, well, it depends. If it's bluefin, it's 2. Yellowfin, you can get 5. Hey Dan, here's Leo. How do you, what bait do you recommend on a charter to fish lingcod? What rig? Yeah, this is what I fish. I fish a 6-ounce B52 bucktail with the single tail grub, double A grub, and sometimes a strip of squid, and I swim it and bounce it on the bottom for lingcod. I'll be up in Emeryville this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and this is all I'll be fishing for the lingcod. And then I also will use a Magic Metal 8 and 10-ounce jig. If I want something to swim faster, I'll use this. Or if I need something heavier, this is 8 and 10 ounces that we use for that. The big bucktails are only 6 ounces. You can find those on our website. Lewis is trying to convince his wife to go on the East Cape trip. Yeah, it's not next month. It's going to be in November, November 12th through the 16th. 12th to 16th, join me with down the East Cape. Brian, any restrictions on the amount of people up north? Yes. Yeah, the New Huck Finn can take up to 30 people, and we can't take, I think we can only take 18 anglers and 2 film people. And then on the Sea Wolf, we're only allowed to bring 16 anglers and 2 camera people. So Tona, so you got 2 yellowtail with me? Cool. All right, good, Jeff. Nice to know. Vince wants to know, do I have a profile on Fishbrain? No, I've never used Fishbrain. So Adam, it's a 3/4 boat. Yeah, I'd be prepared for a little bit of everything. I'd be prepared for bonita, yellowtail. I'd be prepared for fishing on the kelp beds, maybe small bucktails for the calicos with squid, and maybe some rock fishing too. Lewis, the wife has only been fishing once. So what's nice about fishing the East Cape, Lewis, is we will be like 90 miles north of Cabo, maybe 100 miles north of Cabo, 100 miles north from the tip of Baja. And that 100 miles blocking the Pacific Ocean makes the water a lot calmer. It's not, you don't have all the rough water that you get in the Pacific and right there in the Cabo area where it can get rough. So um, to let your wife know it's a lot calmer in the East Cape. Do I have any future trips for Hooks Landing? Not right now. We don't have any more trips planned. I'd like to get some more with out of Ventura sport fishing. So let's see if we can do that. Hoop netting tips. There really aren't hoop netting tips. You just want to find structure. I mean, that's what's easy for you guys on piers because all those pilings and the lobsters walk underneath the piers and the pilings. So um, you don't really have to worry about where to go. Maybe farther out on the pier. I know in Santa Monica Pier, it gets pretty, people get pretty aggressive on their spots. So if you're on a boat, I just don't know how it's going to be on the hoop netting this year because the water's so warm still. You really want that colder water. That's why people go all the way up to Catalina and they go deep water. Brian, hey Dan, where could I go to check out a good selection of spinning rods, reels? I don't know what city you're in, Brian, but Johnny Sports Shop, the Longfin, Bob Sands. There's a tons of tackle stores, Turner's even. There's tons of tackle stores you can go to. Have a wide selection of tackle to look at. Problem is, a lot of people are sold out right now because when COVID got started, a lot of people were spending their stimulus money and their unemployment money to go buy fishing gear. So a lot of stores you go to, Fisherman's Access, um, lots of stores I've been to, they're just out of gear. So, Cat, when am I getting the red color magic metal jig 8 ounce? Never really thought about it for a bottom jig. We got it red because of the red crabs, so we use that mainly for the tuna fishing. So that's why we made the red one. So Jeff, you're putting lights on your line? I didn't know you were doing that. Adam, cool. It says he wants to come out on private charter with me next year. Raul Garcia, love your videos. Good to see you. I live close to Emeryville. Would love to fish with you. Oh, you fish with me on the Huck Fin? Cool. I'll be there. I mean, I'll be in Emeryville this weekend. If you want to stop by and say hello, and just call the landing, find out when the boat's coming in, and you can see me when the boat comes in, and we can say hello. Take a picture if you want. Lewis, Dan, something took my bucktail at the Channel Islands Monday. White and red. Yeah, white and red's really good color for white sea bass and halibut. So I don't know where you're fishing. So Guzer 13, thoughts on Legend Sport Fishing 2-day this Friday. I think you'll do good. They're catching a lot of tuna right now. Jeff just had a monster trip where he had two fish over 200 and a bunch of 100-pounders. So you might fish one day the small stuff and one day the big tuna. I'm not sure. But you should do good. There's Dorado down south, some yellowtail and yellowfin tuna. So Raymond's going on his first fishing trip on a boat next Sunday. Good luck. It should be fun. Can you post your private charter schedule? Aaron, the way we do the private charters is you pretty much just call our office with the date that works for you, and we let you know if that day is good for us or not, or if we're busy. But here's a link here for my private charter website for the rates and the trips we offer. And you can call the office on Thursday, say, here's a couple of dates that work for us, or drop us an email. And then we can go from there. But yeah, we really don't have any open party trips planned for October. Thanks, Matthew. Tell your parents I said hello. Lewis, hey Dan, where do you need to fly into for your escape trip? Lewis, you have two choices to fly in. You can either fly into Los Cabos Airport or fly into La Paz. It's cheaper to take the shuttle um, to the hotel from Los Cabos Airport. Um, the drive is a lot longer from La Paz. It's kind of a pretty drive, though. I did it last year. I rented a car and drove it myself. But flying to Los Cabos, the airfare is really cheap right now. So I would look for that. Lewis wants to go to Ventura. That sounds good. So just as a tropical storm down by Clarion Island pushing warm water. Well, that's good. We need some more of that warm water. Yeah, the problem with this La Nina is the water isn't getting colder. Not all La Ninas make the water colder. And we're learning this year. Tyler says he's got most of his lobsters from San Clemente Pier. That's probably a good idea. Cali, because I haven't been to the Horseshoe in a couple weeks. All my trips have been to Catalina. My trip tomorrow's to Catalina. Um, the following weekend, this coming weekend, I'm up in Northern California, fishing and filming up there. But after that, I will be doing a bunch of half-day local trips, so I can give you guys more updates on what's going on there. Cow fishing, what do you think works best for bonita? Small jigs. You want like 1.5 ounce to maybe 3 ounce metal jig. Something shiny, chrome works really good, and live bait works out really good. So Jeff says that he's hearing reports of several different grades of fish moving in at Cortez Bank, all the way to Santa Barbara Island, and down to San Clemente and Desperation. So it's like a big pyramid. and the tuna are running in that area. Zach, am I worried about COVID? I'm not so much worried when I'm on the boat, on the deck, because most people are wearing masks, not everybody. And I think being outside in the fresh air, all the reports say that you're much safer there. I wouldn't want to be locked in the galley, um, for a whole day with people. But out on the deck fishing, sounds like you're pretty safe. Yeah, Jeff, I think airfare in the States went up a little bit, but I don't think it's gone up for Mexico, but I'll have to check. Well, if you're going to go tuna fishing, go now. Now through October should be the best time. I have 2 trips next month. If you'd want to join us, you're more than welcome to join us. And have a trip on the Tomahawk, which I think has 1 spot left. And we have a couple of spots on the Legend. The Legend is a day-and-a-half trip, and the Tomahawk is a 2-day trip. And you can use this link to see the trips that we have. Yeah, Adam, my trips out of San Diego are both in October. The trip on the Legend and the trip on the Tomahawk. Like I said, the Legend trip is a day-and-a-half trip, and the other trip, the trip on the Tomahawk, is a 2-day trip. And both of those have reduced loads. The Tomahawk, I think we're only taking 16 people, maybe 18 people. So, Alan, hey Dan, I missed information on Ventura. I don't have a trip in Ventura coming up this year. We already did that, but but we do have a trip out of Santa Barbara. So if you want to join us on that trip on the Coral Sea, just use that link there that I've been posting. Take you to my website where you can see the trips that we have post rest for the rest of the year, and that's it there. So, all right, guys. I'm sorry it's short today, but I need to get my stuff ready for tomorrow's trip. I need to go to sleep early. I got to be down at the boat at 5 in the morning. I still got to make lunch and stuff. So, yeah, Lewis just posted that the trip right now to Cabo is only $250 round trip. That's pretty cheap. I paid for something when I went in August, so that's really cheap. And if you guys want to really save money, fly Valaris out of Tijuana, and it's probably half the price. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, leave the comments down below or email me and join me on a trip. And if you'd like to do a private charter trip, please go to my website and do that. Here's a link for my website for trips and for the rates. So thanks, guys. And I will be back here Tuesday. I'll give you a full report how it went up north, and I'll let you know how this trip went. And I'll hopefully shoot some videos tomorrow on my private charter. All right. Thanks, guys. Good night. Talk to you later. Be safe. Bye.